Happy Monday. Good morning. This is Rebecca Kaiser, Life Coach. Today is day one of the 5-day Recharge Your Battery Challenge. I am so glad to be with you today and excited to get started as we work on recharging our batteries together. It's my hope that as we meet together over the next 5 days, as we interact in the Facebook group, as you send me your questions by email or in Facebook, that we can really be a support to each other, that we can get recharged, that we can look at being recharged differently than we have before and see it as a whole body, whole mind, whole spirit experience. You know, we, as I said in my message to you this morning, we are coolly complicated people. We've been made in a really neat way. And as a result, we can easily get drained by things that are coming up in our lives, but we also can be easily energized just by targeting small changes in our life that can make us feel better. So that's our intent as we get started today. We're going to focus today on our whole body and our whole body response. So day one is about your body. As we start this process, let's talk about what it means. Why do we feel drained right now? And what do we need to be able to recharge? So in this time, we have ongoing stressors. We have changes. We have social isolation and differences in our relationships. Decisions that we're having to make, roles that we're having to take on that we haven't done before. And all of this can make us feel drained. Even just having monotony can make us feel drained. And so it's important to really be attentive to the things that can energize us. You know, with these things that drain us, our body and our mind kind of go into this automatic fight or flight response. And that's a good thing. That can help us survive in hard times. It can help us tackle the challenges that we're facing. But the problem is when that gets to be an ongoing way of life. And that's what tends to happen in a stressful time that is going on and on like our current one is. And so it's really important to pay attention to the fact how we respond in that fight or flight, which tends to be more survival, tends to be not as much thinking about the long term and the everyday and how our body is functioning in that. But it also tends to be something that is causing cortisol release, which then impacts our minds over the long term. So we want to focus on the things that are healthy, that are going to make our body and our mind function really well, even though this is a part of our reality right now. So just let me share with you a few things, and I've got all my notes right here because I want to make sure that I share the things that I am intending today. It's important as we launch off together that we do things that strengthen our body. And there's a lot that we can do to strengthen our body. When we strengthen our body, instead of cortisol, instead of that being our go-to chemical that is released in stress, we're thinking about the things that strengthen our body and fortify it so that those stressful things don't stick to us as readily. So I want to share with you 3 things that we can do that have just small everyday behaviors to help us tackle this difficult time. Number 1, our vagus nerve. Are you familiar with it? It is the longest nerve in our body, and it impacts how we feel emotionally, how our heart rate and our body systems function. It impacts our organs and the inflammation in our body. And we can actually strengthen that nerve to help decrease the overall stress and improve how we feel. And so that's what we're targeting today. And the really fun thing about that is that these things that can strengthen that nerve can be implemented on an ongoing way, can make us feel recharged, and don't tend to take that much time. Some of the things that impact or strengthen that, tone that nerve, are things like laughter. And you'll find that with all 3 of the things I'm going to share today, laughter is a big one. Another one is doing some yoga stretches or moves. Another one is massage, having a massage on your feet or on your neck. Another big one is singing at the top of your lungs, which can also bring a sense of joy to your mind, not just your body. Splashing cold water on your face can be a big one as well. All right, enough with the vagus nerve. Number 2 is deep breathing. So as adults, we often get into this bad habit of breathing really shallowly in and out of our chest. And when we take short breaths, that tends to increase our stress level and we don't feel recharged. Whereas when we take deep breaths where the air goes down to our bellies and our belly expands as we breathe in and that it flattens out as we breathe out, that actually improves the functioning of our mind, the functioning of our body, and it helps us just to have a better feeling. It helps us to be calmer. So you can just do your basic deep breathing, but you can also do intentionally breathing in a positive emotion and breathing out a negative emotion. Or you can do what's called a breath prayer, as I shared with you. As you breathe in, Lord God, breathe out, I need you today. I need your strength today. And that is energizing because we're putting to work our body and our mind and our spirit all in one and strengthening those different areas of our life. All right. Number 3 is intentionally doing activities that promote the secretion of those happy hormones in our body. And we know it, we talk about it, but how often do we pay attention and intentionally incorporate in our routine things that secrete happy hormones to make us feel better, to make us feel recharged, to make our bodies function better? So we're going to talk about 4 chemicals. Number 1 is endorphins. Those are those painkillers, what we often associate with exercise. Getting exercise, feeling like that we're kind of got this runner's high or this walker's high, that we're feeling those good emotions. That can come with not only exercise, but deep belly laugh, dark chocolate, which is a win for sure, a massage, chili peppers. There's a lot that can help with that. And I incorporated a fun graphic from @sumo.official from Instagram to help you with incorporating these happy hormones. A second one is dopamine. Dopamine is a hormone that's secreted when we feel a sense of reward, when we accomplish something, we have a small goal that we do, when we feel good about something that we've done, when we eat, when we celebrate things that are small wins. All of those things secrete that dopamine hormone to help us feel a sense of accomplishment and reward. Number 3, serotonin is a mood stabilizer. I have definitely noticed some up and down moods with what's been going on with coronavirus. But when we do things that intentionally stabilize our mood, that secrete serotonin and help that mood to be more stable, we feel a lot better and we feel more energized. Some things that can help with this are things like breathing, exercise, being outside, going for a walk, even just sitting outside for a little while can help secrete this happy hormone. And then the last one is oxytocin. And oxytocin is a hormone that is secreted, a chemical that's secreted when we feel a sense of connection. And this is something that can feel out of whack, especially right now, right? We are not feeling connected in the way that we have before. So it's important to be intentional about that. What are you doing to connect with the people around you, to connect with people that you're not seeing? And you can even experience the benefit when you are playing with an animal or holding somebody's hand or giving somebody a compliment. These are things that can help to secrete this love hormone that help to bring a sense of feeling recharged. All right, so those are the 4 chemicals. I got 4 fingers here. The 4 chemicals that can help us when it comes to feeling that sense of recharge. And if you haven't read the email that I sent this morning, I would encourage you to do that, and because that has, the information that we've just gone over. Feel free to share questions that you have down below in the conversation. And on our Facebook page, I'll be posting a little bit later today, just asking you what you want to take from today, from the email, from me getting on here for Facebook Live. One of the most important things that we can do as we focus on recharging our body today is to pick one or two things that we can do that bring a sense of recharge to our body. And I've given you some ideas, and there's also a lot more information out there. When we take one or two things and we make it consistently a part of our routine, it's not only something that we're trying for now, but it makes it part of our everyday. The other thing is that in a time that is so variable like we're going through right now, when we make a routine, when we have things that we do consistently, that's also good for us. To have that consistency, to have that routine, to have the things that we rely on day in and day out can help us feel a sense of being recharged. All right, enough from me. Like I said, let me know if you have any questions. I am so glad to be a part of this challenge with you, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.